Raheem Sterling is on the verge of a fifth Premier League club, but no one expected this move. After a turbulent loan at Arsenal, the England international is now training away from Chelsea's first team. And a shock twist might finally decide his future. Before we dive into the full story, make sure to subscribe to Beyond Premier, the channel that keeps you updated on everything Premier League. And tell us in the comments, should West Ham really sign Sterling, or has his time at the top level passed? Let's hear your thoughts. Raheem Sterling's career could be taking yet another unexpected turn as the former Manchester City and Liverpool winger finds himself on the transfer list once again. After a disappointing loan spell at Arsenal and the lack of plans for his future at Chelsea, several Premier League clubs, and even Juventus, are now circling the 30-year-old with offers. Sterling is currently training at Cobham with a group of Chelsea players who have been deemed surplus to requirements by new manager Enzo Maresca. The decision to keep him away from the first-team squad speaks volumes. Despite his reputation and past achievements, Chelsea have made it clear they want to move him on before the window closes. Among the clubs interested, West Ham United have emerged as a serious contender. The Hammers, now managed by former Chelsea boss Graham Potter, are actively monitoring Sterling's situation. Their previous working relationship could play a key role in pushing a deal forward. Reports suggest that Potter has always been a fan of Sterling's work ethic and experience, frequently selecting him during his tenure at Stamford Bridge.
However, there's a significant obstacle to overcome: Sterling's wages. The winger currently earns £325,000 per week, one of the highest salaries in the Premier League. Last season, Arsenal only agreed to pay 30% of those wages during his loan, and a similar financial arrangement may be needed if West Ham are to secure his services. In terms of performance, Sterling hasn't quite lived up to expectations in recent years. While his time at Manchester City was incredibly successful, scoring 131 goals and registering 86 assists in 331 appearances, his output has dipped since joining Chelsea. He scored 10 goals and assisted 11 times in 43 games last season for the Blues, but only managed 1 goal and 5 assists during his loan at Arsenal. Yet Graham Potter seems to believe that there is still value in Sterling. With Mohamed Kudus leaving for Spurs, the Hammers are in need of quality attacking reinforcements. The idea of having a Premier League veteran with 4 league titles, 1 FA Cup, and 5 Carabao Cups to his name could prove attractive in the dressing room. Sterling's preference is to remain in London, which puts West Ham, Fulham, and Crystal Palace at the front of the queue. However, Italian giants Juventus have also expressed interest. At the moment, Fulham appear to be the strongest competitor, with talks reportedly ongoing between the club and Sterling's representatives. Meanwhile, Chelsea seem eager to offload the winger permanently or on loan, provided they can relieve a large portion of his wages. Manager Enzo Maresca has been firm in his stance, stating publicly that Sterling simply does not fit into his vision of the squad. In fact, Maresca's words just before Sterling's Arsenal loan spell were blunt. "I'm not saying Raheem is not a good player, but I prefer different kinds of wingers." With Chelsea preparing to face Crystal Palace in their Premier League opener on 17th August, Sterling's departure seems imminent. But where he ends up remains to be seen. A move to West Ham would reunite him with a manager who trusts him. A move to Fulham might offer a clean slate. And a move to Juventus could reignite his career abroad. For now, all eyes are on Sterling, who must choose whether to fight for a final chapter in the Premier League or begin a new adventure overseas. One thing is certain: his next move will define the final act of his career.